Okay, I have looked high and low all over the internet for how to do this. In my efforts to make fast meals, quick meals, instant meal kind of situations with some of our prepper food, long-term food, I'm trying to figure out how to cook some of these things first, because if there's a power outage or a breakdown or worse, these you either soak them a long time, and even then you're liable to cook it for an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's not acceptable. That's going to use up way too much of your fuel or whatever that you need to be saving. So I'm kind of watched one or two videos that weren't about this, and they didn't have this exact kind of pot, so I'm going to wing it, okay? I'm just going to do the best I can do. I opened, this is a 20 ounce, 1 pound 4 ounces of that. I rinsed them, didn't soak them at all, I simply rinsed them, and that was all. And I rinsed them pretty good. Well, as good as I do anything. So, I'm doing that. This is 8 glasses or cups of water. And I really am hoping that's not way too much, because again, I have looked everywhere for instructions on this. Because my goal is to dehydrate these, I am adding nothing. I'm adding nothing to it. So, I'm saving this packet. We'll do something with that later. So, let me put this on here. Let me shut that. I don't even know for sure if I know how to do this part correctly. So, we shall see. It will be my first fail if I fail on this. So, but I'm trying to, since it doesn't have a particular bean setting, it does say have something here about tender beans, but I can find no instructions anywhere. I don't know what that means. So, and I told, in case anybody didn't see the other videos, and shame on you if you don't follow me. I'm kidding. I bought this on Facebook Marketplace for $20 or $25. I don't have the instructions on it. So I'm going to try to manually set it. I think that's 30 minutes, and then I'm going to hit fast cook. Let's see if that does anything. I have no idea. Okay, is that down? What in the world? I think that's down. I don't know. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just putting it out there. No idea. So let's see what happens. It says fast cooking. We shall see. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. Okay, so these have gone through the full cycle. Some of them are definitely well done and coming apart, and some of the ones like you would expect, that's the harder, longer to dry or cook beans, they're done, but they're still a little crunchy, which actually I like that okay, because of how everything seemed to explode so much whenever I dehydrated the others. Yeah, so that's plenty done enough, especially whenever you're gonna, I think they'll finish off even as I'm dehydrating. I'm going to, it was suggested by a lot of people that if you do the beans this way, since I didn't rinse, I did rinse them, but I didn't soak them and then re-rinse them. I'm going to dump all of this water out. I'm going to rinse them, and then I'm going to set it in the refrigerator to make it cooler while I cook. Do the same thing to this bag of beans. that bag of bean soup because I'm trying to make instant meals. So far so good. Alright, this is the second batch of those soup, 15 bean soup. That was pressure cooked for supposedly 30 minutes. I didn't really time it, it's just that's what the timer said. And then I rinse them off. And I put them in here. And because they're still fairly hot, I'm going to stick them in the refrigerator just a little bit. Certain of these peas are definitely really done. Yeah, they are pretty done. They still need a little bit of cooking, but it's going to be like a fast soup. It's not going to be instant soup. So there you go. And then after they're in the refrigerator, cool off just a little bit, I'm going to put them on the tray. And I'm going to start the dehydration. Alright, my 15 bean soup that I pressure cooked and then dehydrated, 2 different 1 pound packages. This is the premix soup by Hearst's. See what I'm going to do? I'm going to try to do them 2 different ways to make them shelf stable. Like I said, they're already cooked. They may need just a little bit more cooking, but very little. They're basically cooked and dehydrated. And even though there's a packet of that, I'm also, in case somebody doesn't want that, I did some dehydrated onion, some garlic salt, and the chicken bouillon. This is everything that I'm using. That's my onion, that's my garlic I'm using, that is the chicken bouillon I'm using. This is everything that is going to go into that plastic jar. And then the other one, to give a variety, this same exact thing, I'm going to vacuum seal it. So this is everything, the supplies and everything. The little tags on there are just masking tape that I wrote on. I do cut some of the instructions off and I'm glued it on there. I glued that on there. So let me do this and I'll get back to you. I think this would be great for camping, for hiking, for emergency situation, for grid down, for, well, you decide what it's for. Oh, sounds like another storm's coming up. Alright, what I'm going to do here, because some of y'all have mentioned about certain foods maybe leaching, the plastic leaching into it. I get it. I really do. So, you've inspired me. And, excuse me. These are completely dried. I'm going to pour these into this. This is a brown lunch bag, paper lunch bag that you get at Walmart or Target or Dollar Tree. Excuse me. Now, that's in there. So what I'm going to do is stuff that in here. This is all trial and error. I've never done anything like this. So I'm going to kind of poke that down. I've already cut off and glued the label here. Here's some cooking directions, even though this should be basically done, and that's the nutrition facts. I'm going to just fold them up, stick them in the back. Here's that seasoning. I'm just going to poke that down in there. Here's my dehydrated onions, the chicken bouillon, and garlic salt. You can add or not add any flavors you do want or you don't want. And then I'm going to put that in there. So that should be everything. Now I'm going to seal it. And then that, I'm going to have to re-glue that a little bit. And this was the glue I used. I'm probably going to try to do something else. Now, the only other thing I'll do differently here, I may decide to put an oxygen absorber in there, and then I will get duct tape and tape this up. And then that, my friends, will be shelf stable. It will be fully cooked, fully hydrated, fully protected. The paper is going to keep the plastic from leaching on this, but that will be ready to grab and go or to give to someone. There's a storm brewing out there now, so this is hurricane season. This is just a thought. It's just an idea. You do you. Okay, I already didn't like how that was going. So I took the label off of it. The dried beans are in there. I'm going to kind of do this with them. Another reason that I'm doing this, besides the fact that people keep bringing up the fact of the plastics possibly leaching into the food, I get that and I understand it. So I'm going to do this to where there's no way possible it will. And the other reason for doing this, I've heard other people talk about they don't like vacuum sealing because the seals don't hold up. That's mainly because whatever is inside these has some sharp edges or something, and they're literally poking through. Anytime I have ever put this into a brown paper bag or a white paper bag, never one time has the pressure been lost. But the other thing I do, and you may or may not can see that, I actually seal twice, top and bottom. So here on the outside, you won't be able to see this, but I put the label. I just stuck it in there. Now, again, just like with the other, I'm going to take this information, I'm going to fold it up or wad it up or whatever, and I'm just going to slide this, and I'm going to slide all the seasonings just right here in the back. It's amazing how nerve-wracking this is whenever I'm on video trying to do this and do it correctly and pretend like I know what I'm doing. Okay, now everything is in there. So I'm going to lift that up. Hopefully this is going to see. Put that down just a little bit. I'm going to put that on there. You lay that right in between this little groove here. And there it is, sealing it up. Alright, now it's sealing it. And I don't know if this is why I almost never lose a seal. I pull it down just a little bit and then I hit the seal again. So I have two complete seals at the top and two complete seals at the bottom. And now this, that is sealed and ready to go. Ready to go in your bug out, ready to go in your pantry, ready to give to a friend or someone in need. Everything that they need, except for the water, is going to be right in here. If we're not in a grid down situation, then add some sausage or even chicken or whatever. But I put the bouillon in just in case this is an emergency situation. So be creative. These are just ideas. I'm no guru. This particular idea I didn't get from anyone else. other than the fact that I see so many awesome YouTubers pre-cooking beans like Rosebud Red, or I done forgot her name, I'm so sorry. That channel, there's so many channels that I follow, and the dehydrating guru, the dehydrating queen, is Darcy at the Purposeful Pantry. So these are just some ideas. I will probably put an oxygen absorber in here and then seal that up, but that's complete, done, start to finish, beginning with the dried bean soup. All right, finally they said, this is done. Just for full disclosure, I was not pleased with how the glue, that glue stick was holding this on, so I took some of my packing tape, my shipping tape, and I did that. I did put 2 100cc oxygen absorbers, and that is duct tape around there. So now there's 2 grab and go for camping, for sticking in your pantry, for whatever. I don't know. Today I'm going to make it very short and sweet. No lectures, no sermons. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. So, God bless you. I love you. Jesus loves you. God loves you. Be prepared. Hopefully you'll begin with your soul.